that, Scorpion lost my trust.
That is not justice.
Hello guys, and welcome to another MK Mobile character review, today featuring Klassic Noob Saibot. As usual guys, please note the date when this video has been recorded because a lot of things may have changed since then, and if you're not familiar with the matrix I'm using in order to evaluate characters, you can find it on the top right corner of the screen. So without any further ado, let us put Klassic Noob to the test. Klassic Noob guys was released on the 28th of January 2021, and ever since then he wasn't available in the store. You could get him in a specific pack, or you can get him in a tower if you were lucky and he drops in certain battles as a reward. With that said, let's take a look at his stats. His attack is 38,556, which is the 37th highest in the game and the 11th highest among the gold characters. The hit points, they are only 69,120, which is the 46th highest in the game and the 24th in the gold league. The toughness is 39,690, which is the 28th highest in the game and the 7th highest among all gold cards, and the recovery is 34,020, the 38th highest in the game and the 17th highest in Mortal Kombat Mobile when it comes to the gold characters. The power generation sadly is just 100%. So for his stats, Klassic Noob is going to get the underwhelming 15.6 out of 28 possible points. Special 1 of Klassic Noob guys is called Ghost Ball, and here it is what you need to know about it. First thing first, let's assume that's partially unblockable, because once you do one successful special 1, then for the next 10 seconds every single special 1 that will follow will be guaranteed to be unblockable, and that's pretty cool. In addition, it doesn't really have a debuff, but let's assume that it has one, because if you manage to land clean special 1, every single attack of this enemy affected by it will be unblockable for the next 10 seconds, and that's pretty important. That's why I'll be giving some points here. In addition, the special attack can be cast from distance, even though the first mini hit will miss, but that's not a big deal at all. It is lethal, it consists of 2 mini hits, and it has the single tap circle as mini game. And one more thing that you need to know about his special 1, it will flawlessly follow the second combo ender of Noob, but it will sometimes miss after the first combo ender. However, if you cancel both of his combo enders, it will always connect. When it comes to the damage, the minimum damage of the ability is 20,433, which is the 36th highest in the game and the 7th highest in the gold league. The maximum damage is 35,027, which is the 50th highest in the game and the 16th highest among all gold characters. Once again, the special attack can be unblockable. It kind of has a unique debuff if the enemy doesn't block it. It can recast from distance, it is lethal, it consists of 2 mini hits, and it has a single tap circle as mini game. So for his special 1, Klassic Noob is going to get the solid 9 out of 13 possible points. Teleslam, this is the name of Klassic Noob Special 2. Remember my review of Classic Sub-Zero? In case you do, then you already know what I think about this type of special attacks that chain. Basically, this special attack can chain up to 6 times, I believe, and every single time the minigame is getting harder and harder. Now, where do I begin? Actually, like usual, let's start with the fact that this ability can be blocked by the enemy, unless you have already the effect of special 1, and there is a little chance for that, so as usual I'll be giving some points here. Moreover, special 2 of Noob Saibot has power generation as buff. It can be cast from distance, it is lethal, it consists of, let's say, 6 mini hits, because let's face it, in 99% of the cases 2 actually chains of his special 2 will be enough to kill almost any character, unless you're fighting bosses, but that's another topic. And of course, the minigame is many single tap circles. And one last thing, it will be wise to start your special 2 chaining when you are in the middle of your combo, basic combo, or after you cancel the combo ender, because if you don't, there is a huge chance that the special 2 will miss. When it comes to damage, the minimum damage of the ability is 41,839, which is the 50th highest in the game, and the maximum damage is 61,299, which is the 81st highest in the game and the 40th highest in the Gold League. Of course, this is when it comes to one single chain of his special 2. Once again, the special 2 of Classic Noob can be sometimes unblockable depending on how you use his special 1. It has power generation as buff, it can be cast from distance, it is lethal, it consists of, let's say on average, 6 mini hits, and it has the many single tap circles as minigame. So for his special 2, Noob Saibot is going to get 11.3 out of 19 possible points. The X-ray of Classic Noob, or the Fatal Blow of Classic Noob, it doesn't matter really. It is called Together Again, and it looks quite awesome. In addition, what you need to know about it is that you can cast it from distance, and it has Team Deathmark, which is awesome. When it comes to damage, the damage of the X-Ray is 118,707, which is the 46th highest in the game and the 10th highest among the gold characters. Once again, the X-Ray has Team Deathmark as debuff, and it can be cast from long range. So for his X-Ray, Noob Saibot is going to get 3.6 out of 4 possible points, and the total amount of points he gets for his special attacks adds up to 23.9 out of 36 possible. The basic attacks of Classic Noob Saibot, guys, are just okay, not great, not terrible. First thing first, it's an important factor that he can actually be relevant without Block Breaker. All you have to do is land a successful special 1, and after that you're good to go. Of course, if you're facing one enemy that has a lot of HP, such as for example bosses, that could be a possible way to defeat the boss for you. If you're facing multiple enemies in survival mode, I would recommend that you give him Block Breakers anyways, because the moment the other opponent tags in, the one that hasn't been affected by your special 1, you have to repeat the process, and that's kind of risky. Apart from his special 1, his basic attacks don't really push enemies away, so the chaining is not really great, and his special 1 doesn't follow smoothly after his first combo ender, his special 2 doesn't follow smoothly after his second combo ender. In a lot of cases you have to cancel your combo ender so that you can do successful special attacks. So in general, his basics are just okay. Once again, not great, not terrible, so I believe he fully deserves 7 out of 10 possible points for his basic attacks. Okay guys, it is time to talk about the passive of Noob Saibot, which is called Blessed by the Shadow. And here it is what it does, I quote, "Classic Noob Saibot's Ghost Bow special attack 1 disables his opponent's block, making all incoming attacks considered unblockable for 10 seconds. When special attack 2 is performed at 80% plus, it activates a continuous chain of special attacks up to 6 times. Classic characters including Noob Saibot receive a 30% damage boost to all unblockable attacks." Now let's talk first about the special 1 effect. I believe it's really good and a unique ability. Now it has one main drawback. Actually the effect lasts only 10 seconds, which basically means that it won't have huge effect on his teammates. Basically this team is designed for him, so he can do special 1 after special 1 after special 1, and each special 1 of course will be doing 30% more damage because it will be considered as an unblockable attack. If you want to use him as a support, he cannot really do well because you just do special 1, then you tag him out, and you literally have 6 or 7 seconds for the character tagging in to do, let's say, 1 or 2 special attacks. And that's not really amazing. I mean, it can still be useful, but it's not a game changer. It's not something that you say, okay, this guy is a perfect support. It is just useful, but that's it. The good thing is that it boosts the damage by 30%. So imagine that you're doing special 1 to a boss, then you tag in Classic Liu Kang, who has 3 bars of power and reduced cost of special 2. The Classic Liu Kang does 2 special 2s immediately, and this will do 30% more damage. And if you have the Unbridled Savagery talent, it will do 60% more damage. And that's pretty cool, but once again, it's really situational, and that would be great if it was working. Yes, you heard me right. This part of Noob Saibot passive doesn't work, and you are seeing me currently testing with and without Noob Saibot effect on his special 1, the damage is the same on any character. I tested it on Classic Rain special 1, I tested it on Classic Scorpion special 1, hell, I even tested it on Noob Saibot special 1 and his basic attacks. It doesn't work, the damage stays the same. On top of that, it seems that the Unbridled Savagery talent, which actually should be pretty good on Noob Saibot, it doesn't work also. With or without the Unbridled Savagery, the damage stays the same. So it is a pity, but it seems that the unblockable attack effect simply doesn't work. It doesn't boost the damage by 30%. Of course, it makes sure that if the enemy is blocking, you're going to break his block or her block, and that's wonderful. But it doesn't increase the damage. So the third part of Noob Saibot passive, the one that classic characters including Noob Saibot receive a 30% damage boost to all unblockable attacks, simply doesn't work. So NetherRealm Studios or Warner Brothers, today is the 12th of actually the 4th of December 2021, so please fix it. Please fix it. So with that said, let's talk about the middle part of his passive, the special 2 attack. And like not MK11 but Classic Sub-Zero, I reckon that this one is pretty bad. And I understand why they decided to give this to Noob, because actually Classic Noob Saibot is Classic Sub-Zero after he dies, right? So that's pretty cool, I kind of love that. But the thing that I dislike is that this thing is almost unusable in survival mode, because they're going to get Revenants, and the Revenant is going to intercept your chain, is going to actually end it, and that's pretty bad. Even if you score 90 or even 100% of the minigame, the Revenant is going to just end it and just going to stop it. And another thing that I dislike is that it doesn't get transferred to the next enemy tagging in. If this was the case, Special 2 of Noob Saibot and Sub-Zero would be really worth. Currently it isn't, because you do 2 Special 2s, you kill the enemy, the next enemy tags in, and you have to work to start another Special 2. At the same time, you can do a really powerful Special 2 of any Diamond card or even Gold card that has higher damage on his Special 2, and you can kill the enemy. So you're doing the same thing. But in this current case, you're doing more minigames. The harder minigames get, the more chains you activate, and it doesn't pay off. It doesn't pay off at all. The only place where it can pay off if you are amazingly good at those minigames is against bosses. But yeah, to me honestly, the most I did is 4. After 4 it's getting almost impossible. So the only place, once again, where you can use his special 2 in order for it to be great and in order for it to pay off, if you're really amazing at chaining the minigame of his special 2, is against bosses. And Noob Saibot is really squishy, and I prefer to use his special 1, because once you hit his special 1 and activate the effect, then you can chain it forever, and that's pretty good. So I'll be giving him 17.5 for his passive. I reckon it's a pretty useful passive. However, it has some imperfections, and he's a dual class character, so he gets 2 points for classes and 0 points for tagging attack. Alright guys, it is time to talk about Classic Noob Saibot once again. Is he a good character? Is he a bad character? Is he a decent character? So, like usual, let's take a look at the bigger picture. Classic Noob has pretty bad stats, let's be honest. In addition, his special attacks are okay. His special 1 is cool, his special 2 is cool if you are good at the minigame. His passive is good, even though it doesn't really work, at least when it comes to the third part of it. And his basic attacks are decent. So in a nutshell, I reckon that he is a decent character. I kind of enjoy playing with him. The only problem, the actually obvious problem that he has, is that he's not really a good support, and at Fusion Zero he's close to useless. Actually, the only classic character that he can support at Fusion Zero is Classic Scorpion, because if you perform good on the minigame of Special 1 of Classic Scorpion, his spear will be unblockable anyway, so it is supposed to deal more damage if the third part of Noob passive actually was working. With that said, I'll be giving Noob Saibot 2 out of my 3 subjective points. I reckon he's a decent character. He can be useful in many situations. However, he's squishy, he's not that great at Fusion Zero, and he cannot really support properly many classic characters due to the fact that his special 1 makes all attacks unblockable for only 10 seconds. So with my 2 subjective points, he's going to score 68 points sharp, and we can label him as a very good character. on our current standings, guys, he is tied for the 62nd place alongside Warlock Quan Chi. He is just above Aftershock Tremor and just below Bo Raicho. So the final verdict for Classic Noob is going to be very good character. So let's take a look at your final verdict. Alright guys, what is your final verdict? Do you consider Classic Noob Saibot as a good character? And before I get there, I just want to let you know that if you want to vote for the future reviews, you're welcome to do so by joining our Discord server, and you can vote there. I'm leaving the link to it in the description of this video. With that said, we have a new record high. 249 people voted for Classic Noob. The previous record was held by Classic Rain with 100 and actually no, by MK11 Rain with 217 people who voted. Anyways, the average score that Classic Noob got was 7.7, or in other words 77 points if we are going to translate this to Matrix score. Actually, the biggest majority of you voted with an 8, 93 people, and actually 2 people voted with a 1 for some weird reason. But anyways, according to you guys, Classic Noob Saibot is a great character with a score very close to 80. I was pretty surprised to find that, because in my opinion he's somewhere between very good and great. I wouldn't say he's great for many reasons, but definitely he's a pretty good gold character. I already said why I believe he isn't great, but still he can be used in a lot of situations, and if he's maxed out and if you're good with his special too, you can do pretty great stuff against bosses. And basically in survival mode you don't even have to do special 2. All you have to do is do a lot of special 1s and you're good to go. Once again, his drawbacks, not the strongest synergy with classic characters, and he doesn't really support many classic characters if he's Fusion 0. So once again, according to you, he scored 77 points. According to the Matrix, he scored 68 points, but in my opinion, the truth is somewhere in the middle. Alright guys, so is Classic Noob Saibot a good opener? I would say that he can be a decent opener, because if you want to play him mainly for his special 1, that would be cool. He will have a good synergy with the Devastator. However, you have to make sure that he can break enemy blocks. For example, you can give him an accessory with block breaking chance, otherwise it's kind of risky. So he is a decent support, not the greatest, but not really a really bad one. When it comes to the characters that he counter, I reckon every single character that relies on blocking in order to do something, such as for example Classic Jax, Shiro Yuta Kida, such as for instance Kintaro, MK11 Noob Saibot, and so on and so forth, because they, once you apply special 1 on them, they cannot really block anything. So in a way, he's very good against characters who really depend on blocking. When it comes to the characters that counter him, I reckon he can be kind of in a bad situation if he faces Hellspawn Scorpion, because he won't be really dealing a lot of damage to him. And in general, Aftershock Tremor can be a tough matchup because he gives unblockable chance for his teammates against NetherRealm. And of course, the usual suspect MK11 Jade will be kind of a bad match for Noob Saibot. And there is one more thing. He is actually heavily countered by a single talent. This talent's name is Centaurian Defense. And when it comes to talents, guys, before I get to the items, just want to let you know that there are 2 talents that are pretty good for him, even though one of them doesn't work, the Unbridled Savagery. Very good talent, it increases the damage of unblockable attack by 30%. So if this thing works, and if the third part of his passive works, he can get up to 60% damage on his special 1. And if he has a Devastator, that's another 15. That's pretty cool. Another very good talent for him, if you're using him for his special 1, is the Lightning Blow, because you'll be able to disable the special attack. Actually, you'll be able to disable every single special attacks of your enemy, including the X-rays, and that's pretty cool. Alright guys, we got to the setup for his items, and quite honestly, I won't be giving you any great tower epics, because it really depends on whether you want to play for his special 1 or his special 2. If you want to play for his special 2, definitely require a piece that reduces the power cost for special 2. If you're playing for his special 1 and for instance for some reason you don't want to go for for block breaking piece, then you definitely require the Shadow Sash because he is extremely squishy. So if you want to block and then intercept the basic attacks of the enemy and then start your basic attacks, get into special 1, do special 1 and then start chaining it, then you definitely need to make sure that the opponent won't break your block. So the Shadow Sash is a must in that situation. Also the Devastator, if he's your starter, is a pretty cool item on this guy. In general, I reckon that once you lock special 1, quite honestly, it doesn't matter your equipment, you're going to do a lot of damage and eventually you're going to kill your enemy. However, if you're doing special 2, especially in survival mode, definitely you require a piece that require the cost of the special attack. Otherwise, you need to get to another special 2 starting from scratch, and this will take a lot of time. Alright guys, we are at the end of this review. Now we have to talk quickly about his teammates. Obviously, Klassic Noob Saibot must be in a classic team, even though you can easily support him with other characters if he is your main damage dealer. Remember, he's a dual class character, so he can be supported. It's not really a big deal to support this guy. However, we are talking about his best synergy, right? And in a classic team, I reckon that his best buddy is Classic Scorpion, because if you manage to do more than 80% of the minigame of Classic Scorpion, and if the third part of Classic Noob works, then Classic Scorpion Spear is going to be stronger. Apart from that, basically, I don't know which is the other classic character that Noob Saibot can really boost, because he will work equally good with almost any classic character. Once you want to take advantage of the unblockable attack, you just have to do special 1, then tag out Noob Saibot and then unleash the power of whoever is the other character that should be tagging in. Sadly, I cannot think of any other classic teammate that has unblockable attacks. Only Rain, but the attack that breaks the block actually, when it comes to Classic Rain, I think that it doesn't do any damage, so even if it's boosted, it doesn't matter. So in general, a Classic Noob Saibot should be played with Classic Scorpion once they fix the damage, which currently isn't being affected at all. Alright guys, Classic Noob Saibot, what do you think of him? Do you like him? Do you dislike him? Please let me know in the comments. Once again, he scored 68 points sharp, and we label him as a very good character. As usual guys, if you want to see more reviews, you can find the playlist on the top right corner of the screen. See you next time guys. Take care.